Commander Zethkar studied the holographic display with satisfaction. The pale blue world of Earth hung suspended before him, surrounded by the crimson dots representing his fleet's blockade ships. 3 months into the siege, and the humans' supply lines had been completely severed. "Status report," he commanded, his mandibles clicking with anticipation. "All trade routes remain blocked, Commander," reported his tactical officer. "No supply ships have reached Earth in 97 standard days. Our projections indicate widespread starvation should begin within the next lunar cycle." The hegemony had perfected this strategy across dozens of worlds. Cut off the food supply, wait for desperation to set in, then accept the inevitable surrender. It was clean, efficient, and left the infrastructure intact for exploitation. The humans, despite their reputation for stubbornness, would surely follow the same pattern as every other species. Zethkar's confidence began to waver 3 weeks later, when his intelligence officer delivered an impossible report. "Sir, our deep space reconnaissance has detected something unusual." The main screen flickered to life, showing grainy footage from a stealth probe. Massive structures were emerging from Earth's atmosphere, not the sleek military vessels they expected, but enormous, ungainly constructions that defied conventional starship design. "What are those abominations?" Zethkar demanded. "We believe they're farms, sir, farms. Orbital agricultural platforms. The humans appear to be growing food in space." Zethkar's 4 eyes narrowed. "Impossible. No species has ever successfully maintained large-scale agriculture in zero gravity. The energy requirements alone would be astronomical. But the evidence was undeniable. Within months, a ring of these bizarre farming stations had formed around Earth, each one the size of a small moon. Solar collectors stretched for kilometers, feeding power to massive hydroponic bays visible through transparent aluminum domes. The structures rotated slowly, generating artificial gravity for the crops within. "Sir," the intelligence officer continued hesitantly, "there's more. The humans aren't just feeding themselves." "Explain." "We've intercepted communications. They're sending food shipments to our outer colonies." The bridge fell silent. Zethkar's primary hands clenched into fists. "Our colonies? Why would they feed our people?" The answer came in the form of a transmission from Kepler 442b, one of the hegemony's frontier worlds. The colonial governor's desperate voice crackled through the speakers. "Command, we're receiving massive food shipments from unknown sources. Our people were on the verge of starvation due to crop failures, but these supplies have saved thousands of lives. The delivery ships bear human markings, but they're not making any demands or requests for surrender." Similar reports flooded in from across hegemony space. Human ships, clearly marked with Earth's insignia, were delivering food to Zethkar's own people, worlds that were struggling with famine, natural disasters, or supply shortages. They asked for nothing in return, requested no negotiations, made no political statements. They simply arrived, distributed aid, and departed. Zethkar found himself in an unprecedented situation. How could he maintain a siege against an enemy that was feeding his own species? The situation became even more surreal when Dr. Sarah Chen's message reached the hegemony flagship. The elderly human woman appeared on screen, her weathered face kind but determined. "Commander Zethkar, I'm Dr. Chen, Director of Earth's Emergency Agricultural Initiative. We're aware of your blockade, and we understand you're trying to starve us into submission. But we've noticed that several worlds in your empire are facing food crises of their own." Zethkar's mandibles clicked nervously as she continued. "We've developed something your people haven't seen before. Orbital farms capable of producing surplus food even under siege conditions. Our yield calculations show we can feed not just Earth's population, but yours as well. We're sending medical and nutritional supplies to your colonies not as a political gesture, but because it's the right thing to do." The transmission paused as Dr. Chen consulted a tablet. "Your blockade has been educational. It forced us to innovate, to think beyond planetary agriculture. In trying to starve us, you've actually helped us solve galactic hunger. We'd like to share this technology with you." Months passed. The blockade continued, but its purpose had become meaningless. Earth's orbital farms produced more food than the planet had ever seen, while human supply ships continued their regular routes to struggling hegemony worlds. Public opinion within the empire began to shift dramatically. Zethkar received daily reports of his own people questioning the war. How could they justify attacking a species that had saved their children from starvation? Recruitment numbers plummeted. Several colony worlds formally requested to withdraw from the blockade. The final blow came when Zethkar's own homeworld sent a message. Commander, the humans have offered to help us establish our own orbital farms. Our people are demanding we accept. Standing alone on his bridge, surrounded by loyal officers who no longer looked at him with the same respect, Zethkar realized the humans had achieved something no military force ever could. They had won the war not by defeating their enemies but by making themselves indispensable to them. The siege of Earth ended not with surrender or victory but with an invitation. Dr. Chen's follow-up message was simple. Commander, we have enough food for everyone. Would you like to join us for dinner? Within a year, hegemony engineers were working alongside human scientists, building orbital farms around dozens of worlds. The technology that had been born from an attempt to starve humanity became the foundation for ending hunger across the galaxy. Zethkar, now serving as an agricultural coordinator rather than a military commander, often reflected on the paradox. They had tried to weaponize starvation against humanity, only to watch humans turn abundance into their greatest weapon. The humans hadn't just survived the blockade, they had transformed it into an opportunity to feed the universe. And in doing so, they had proven something that would be remembered across the stars. When faced with cruelty, humanity's response wasn't revenge. It was generosity.